Welcome to Quizizz tutorial. So Quizizz is a platform that I've been working with just for this past year, and I found it very helpful the way it can gather reports. And so what we want to do is that we want to actually take a look at a way that it can help you out. So today I will be able to create and edit my profile. That's going to be the goal. Find a quiz and edit and utilize reports. Change and manipulate external quizzes, create and develop a quiz which is your own, and then search reports, how to utilize reports and how to actually navigate through that and collect that data. So let's get started. So once you've created your account, the first thing you want to do is to edit your profile. So when you edit your profile, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click there, you'll have all these fields. You're going to have, again, your title, your name, you'll select your grade level that you're in, and I just selected 6th and 7th and 8th grade. There's content that I also covered in all of those. If you're doing professional development, click that, so you can actually allow your audience to understand or know what content or what grade level you're covering. And then just go ahead and select your school or organization and then save changes. And so anytime you want to adjust that, just go into edit profile. So you'll see how it says 6th through 8th, and all my information is going to be right here. So when you go to share information, people will know how to contact you. Over here, there's a default that's going to be set up, but what you can do is you can hit edit, and this will allow you to actually place your picture or place an image. Now the image you probably want to select is small as it can be if you want to put your image or your picture. Okay, so that's going to be edit profile. Now before we go to creating a new quiz or creating your quiz and teaching you how to do that, we're going to go to find quiz. So there's a method to my madness. And the reason why is because I want to do things quick, and I want to do things effectively, and I want to maximize your time. And so right now I want you to get started with this, because unless you use it, it's not going to matter. It's like having a hammer there, but there's nothing to build with. So we're going to go to find quiz. Okay, so now for find quiz, you'll notice that you're going to see all these categories. Where you see stars, those stars indicate what I have placed in there in my profile. Remember I said 7th, 8th, and 6th. So look at the different content: mathematics, English language arts, social studies, world language, computer science skills, career technical education, creative arts. This is amazing. And you have so many that have created phenomenal tests that are at your disposal. So as opposed to you sitting there and creating them, you can actually go ahead and utilize what's already been done for you. So let's go ahead and practice. I'm going to put in scientific method, and I'm going to search, and let's see what comes up. Okay, now let's go ahead and click the first one. Now remember, it's going to be important for you to look through them and take the test. So practice to make sure that it's going to work for you and your content. And then you can actually edit them as well, so if you want to add to them. So we have a couple options here. We can use it to play live. We can use it as solo practice for the student. And we can assign homework. So let's play live. Let's say you want to go ahead and utilize this in your classroom on real time. Okay, students can use any device, their phone, computers. And so notice the different formats you have. You can actually set it up as a test. So the students can actually take a test live right there in the moment. They can use classic mode on their own. So it's going to be a self-paced competition, or they can actually do it as a team. So let's go ahead and let's do classic. So I'm going to hit continue. And so this is where you're going to take them. Joinmyquiz.com. And then what's going to be very important is the code. So they're going to place the code. And once they place the code, you'll hit start. Okay. Now you'll notice that here there's no players. Since there's no players, I can hit a start as much as I want to, but unless there's at least 2 players to play, you can't activate the game. All right. Now I'm going to end it, but this is what I love. I'm going to go to the next one. Let's go to assign homework. And you're talking about it being graded, ready to go for you, at your disposal. Okay, so you can actually, it's going to actually go to a default here where it's going to give you the date. And you can actually, if you want to, you can change it to whenever you want to activate it. You can go backwards if you want to, forwards, of course. So you just want to keep it open. It usually goes around like 28 to about 30 days. All right, but you can extend, if you notice, you can extend the time, okay? And notice when we go to homework mode, you can actually extend it, see, by date. So I can actually go here, look at, we can keep going. And if I want to, I can go, let's say I can go August 7th. So that means that on August 7th, it's actually going to end. And it's going to end at this time. So if you want to change the time that it wants to end, you can change it to 6 o'clock. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. Now, a couple things you want to do here. Again, there's the code, but what's very important is going to be the link. Now, we're moving, Hillsborough County is moving to Canvas, and so you can actually embed this in the Canvas. So all you would do is that you would click the URL, okay, so you would copy the copy the link. So you would copy the link. And then what you can do here is that you place it so we can practice. And what we want to do is see what the student sees. All right, so this is what they're going to see on their device. Now, they'll place their name, and my suggestion, especially starting the school year, is to make sure that they tell you what period that they're going to be in. Okay. Now let's start the game and see what we have. You can decide if you want music for it, sound effects. So they have those options. So let's go ahead and practice. All right, here we go. So let's start the game. Oh yes, I like that beat. So here we go. After you write, if you notice, it says after you write your conclusion, it's important to share your results with others. False or true? I'll say true. Yeah. Okay, now they have these little emojis and pictures, so they're kind of cool. Gives them time to process. It lets them know how many points they have. Okay. So that's going to be how you set up the test. So let's go back. Okay, let's go back. Now you have that portion done. Now right now you have this test already set up. So what you want to do at any time, you can end it, of course, but now it's running live. So as students start to enter in, you start to collect data. So let's go ahead and collect the data. What we want to do is that we want to go ahead and look at our reports. So you can actually see all the work that I've been able to do in e-learning. Okay, so this is just this past year, and Quizizz for me was something, or a platform that I began to use just this past May. Okay, now for us, this is where we're at. Notice that here's our reports. So I'm going to go ahead and notice it says assign. And when you hit sign, it's actually going to let you know the individuals who've taken it. So here's Ben Lopez, and it's going to actually let you know here. Okay, so if you take a look, it's going to actually let you know here what your score is. So you'll be able to see what your score is currently. So as they're moving forward, that score will continue to be adjusted. Okay, so that the score that you're looking at will continue to be adjusted. Now what I like about this is that they can go back at any time and it'll pick up from where they last left off. So if they take the quiz and they do about 5 questions and they stop, they can go back the next day and keep it going. But I love it because you can teach your content and again collect data and see exactly where they're going, be able to process and see what those gains are at. Okay, so remember what we did. We went find quiz. Okay, so find quiz. When you find your quiz, okay, what you'll be able to do is select what category you want. Once you do that, what you want to do, remember, you go to reports, and in reports hit assign, and then you'll be able to see exactly what data is to be collected for your students. It's also going to give you here a running average of the whole class, is what I love. So that way you'll be able to assess if you made those gains. So if you set 70% status for them, and you can see if the class has done that, and you'll be able to see students that you might need to reteach. All right, so we did find quiz, and then what we did was we looked at reports. So the next thing that we're going to look at is we're going to actually now take an external quiz and now make it your own. So this feature I love because what you'll be able to do is edit it and modify it the way it's going to work for you. So you'll have to do the same thing, find quiz, we're there now, and I'm just going to pull this one. I'll put scientific inquiry, right? What you're going to do is that you're going to go here. Well, you can give props to it. You know, we're going to use it, so let's show some love to scientific inquiry for who created it. But what you want to do is you want to hit save. And if it's a category that doesn't fall in line over here, then you can create another category to add in there. So you can actually organize them. Now, because scientific inquiry deals with the scientific method, I'm going to keep it there, hit done. Now what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to go to my quizzes. And my quizzes is basically what you own or what you're utilizing. It's your library that you're creating. Okay, so there it is. So I can have it for my future use, for my favorites. All right. Now what I want to do is let's go into it. Okay. When you go into it, what you want to be able to do is that you want to go ahead and edit. And editing it is going to give you control for the way you want to change it. So if you want to trash the question, if you want to duplicate it and, you know, set it up a little bit different. So let's hit edit. And in edit, you can see how we can create your own changes. So this is why I kind of love what's been created out there, because why create the wheel? You know what I mean? When it's already been built for you. So I'm going to hit save. Okay. Now, there's a couple other features that we're going to also look at. Okay. So let's go ahead and exit. And you'll notice that up here, you'll have a couple features. You can print it. So if you need to print out a hard copy of the test, you can do that as well. Share. Let's go to share. So if I hit share, I have the ability to email an instructor, one of my colleagues, and they'll have the link. Or what I can actually do is I can share it this way as well. So however you want to do it, you can actually look for the individual that's in there, and then you can share. Okay, so now we're about to transition into now you owning your own quiz. Okay, so we're going to go to my quiz. In this next section, we're going to actually look at creating your own personal quiz. And it's the same thing we pretty much did with editing on an external quiz. But let's go for it. So you want to click here where it says create new quiz. And we'll give it a random name. Again, call it science safety. Notice it's asking for the grade level, and same thing, so you can choose what you want: multiple choice, checkbox, fill in the blank, poll, open-ended. So we'll go multiple choice, and same thing, you create your question, right, and your answer. Okay, so it's just showing you how it's done, save, and so on. Okay, notice you have to make sure that you select your correct answer. Hit save, and then there it is. Remember, if you want to put an image in there, you can add an image. So you can add an image for the quiz. You can actually add an image for the particular question. So it's pretty good. Look at your time. You can actually adjust the time if you'd like to on it. So it depends on if it's going to be an internal test. The kids are taking it in class. You can go ahead, and what you can do is that you can actually adjust, you know, what time that you're going to have. All right. So same thing. What we want to do is we want to take a look. We have this question set up, right? And then it's going to go up here. It says new question. So we're just going to add a new question. Let's say it's checkbox. So checkbox, same thing. It could be a picture that you could add. Okay, so you know, you're just adding your content. Again, make sure that you're choosing here. One important thing, remember, don't forget your standard. Your standard that you can add to it is going to be very important. You can choose, look for the standard. Okay, since I'm in Florida, I'm going to look for my standard. Okay, just to show you 8th grade, content, science. Add the standard, and then you get to choose. Let's say I'm just choosing this one randomly. Okay, now why is that so important? Because as you look at your questions, you can actually pull data and find out which students are struggling with that specific standard. So that way you can always go back and readdress it. Okay, so that's one thing that you can do as well. And of course you hit save, and then you'll have it right there. So you can do the same thing, just play with it. You have different things that you can do, fill in the blank and so on. Okay, now what we're gonna do is from here we're gonna actually, let's go ahead and exit. And as you exit, you can see I don't have a picture for it yet, but it'll be set up and I can actually find it in my collections. So let's see if it's there. Okay, so when you go to your collections, you're going to be able to see your scientific method, okay, speed and velocity. You can actually create a collection from right here as well. If I go to my quizzes is where you're going to also find science and safety. See where it's at? Now notice these are drafts, and since they're drafts, they're not going to go into your collection just yet until you finalize them and it's something workable. Now remember, these go live so other people can see them and utilize them if you want to, or you can just keep it as private. Another area you can look at, which is kind of cool, is the memes. You can actually create, I was just practicing, but you can actually create little funny memes and transitions. Okay, so you can actually put those memes and you can put them within the test itself and duplicate those. I haven't gone that far yet, so you can play with it. You can let me know. Remember guys, you can subscribe to Life Coach 180 on YouTube. Also on sciencebuddy.net as well. You can let me know how things are working for you. So again, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for this session that we've had together, and I hope that was a help. So remember, this is how you use Quizizz. So in this lesson, we're going to actually look at reports. I'm going to pull up a report. Okay, so I'm just going to pull up a random one. And so what I want to show you real quick is that here, you get a couple things you'll be able to do. You can look at the players. You'll be able to actually look at percentages of accuracy, how many were involved. You can actually move them by score. So for example, if you want to look at first name, you can sort it by first name. You can actually sort it by score. You can sort it by accuracy. Remember we talked about standards. Notice there were no standards tagged, so that kind of works to your disadvantage when you don't have that. But when you do have that and you put that work ahead, it makes it a whole lot easier. There's an overview, so you can actually look at each question, which one they possibly missed or the majority. See how you can see like 89, so that's something that they mastered. Second question was mastered, but these right here, we can start to look at those. You can look at by question type, what's the percentages, okay, how far you went, okay, so you see how much distance is covered over a period of time, 89%. So you can kind of see again the percentages. Notice how that's in the green, but here you'll be able to see exactly, you know, which individuals possibly missed that one. You'd have to go over it. And that's about it. That's about it right now as far as reports. So remember, anything that you invest in, anything that you spend time in, you're going to get your big bang for your buck. So I hope that this was helpful to you.